Hey, teacher friend, that's it. It's a wrap. Welcome to 2025 and our first video of the new year. My name is Nina Rodriguez and you are watching Misfit to Teach, where I talk about all things teaching and how to stay mentally, physically, and emotionally fit to teach. If I don't already know you or you've not been a part of our community, please make this the year and make this the video that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you and I can come together every week. Have you ever been a part of that whole new year, new me group of motivated like social media users, that sort of that invisible community where they just were feeding into the energy of the new year, like just being excited to do away with everything that happened in the previous year and really just having this motivation and inspiration that we're gonna revamp some goals, we're gonna do things differently in the new year. And then if you're like me, you sort of fizzle out quicker than you meant to. I think this whole thing of like having new goals for a new year, it's a bad thing whatsoever. And it's human nature to be really excited about something new. The new year, so many times, I think across humanity, has also meant new beginnings, starting all over, starting from a clean slate. And for most people, that can be really hopeful and encouraging. And since that's the case, I can't help but feeling like one of the saddest things that we do to ourselves, especially in modern times, is lose that motivation to keep moving towards our personal goals. And not only losing that motivation, but having it fizzle out really, really quickly. They say the middle of January is actually the time where most New Year's resolutions are abandoned. If you have a little bit more willpower than that, often the rest of the New Year's resolutions are abandoned by February or March. Where does that leave the rest of the year? Too many times, I think especially as teachers, we get into the daily grind of our routines because our routines are so very important. We answer to so many people and there's so many different cogs in the system that we exist in that it feels selfish and even impossible for us to take time away from that in order to meet personal goals. I don't know what it is about 2024 in particular where I feel now more than ever this heightened sense that teachers really need to start getting serious about their lives outside of the classroom. On a side note, I'm actually converting one of the rooms in my finished basement like into an office space. So this is going to be where you and I meet a whole lot, and it's a work in progress. What is it about the teaching schedule and the teacher lifestyle that makes us so self-sacrificial? So here's my piece of advice, the thing that I want us to focus on as we move into 2025. Now, it's unpopular because it comes across as self-centered and maybe even just a little bit narcissistic, but hear me out. I want you and me as teachers, especially that if we're still in that place in our careers where we like teaching, where we feel fulfilled and called to our classrooms, if you're still in that place with this vocation, start planning your exit strategy. You heard me right. I'm not suggesting that we all make some kind of mass national statement and hand in our resignation, break our contracts. Absolutely nothing like that. I think more specifically what I mean to say is teaching, in my opinion and in my observations, having talked to many teachers across the country and been in my own classroom for almost a decade at this point, teaching nowadays is no longer the same as it was teaching 20 and 30 years ago. Just imagine some of the teachers that you grew up with. We're talking the ones that were in the denim dresses and had their little Apple pen and hand wrote their grade books and their report cards. The ones where if your teacher had to call home because of misbehavior, you knew your parents were either coming up to that school or you were going to have some serious consequences when you got home. The kind of teacher that stayed in teaching for 2, 3, or sometimes 4 decades, where it was like the first thing they did out of college and they stayed in that teaching position throughout the course of their career, unless, of course, they moved into administration or something like that. The days of those kinds of teachers are simply gone. Those teachers, you might notice, maybe you work with a few, they're on their way to retirement. They retired a few years ago, and they're just simply the dinosaurs and the relics of a teaching era gone by. In this day and age, teachers are considered the veterans of the industry when they are able to get over the dreaded 3 to 5 year hump. And there are a lot of factors that play into that. Teachers nowadays are regularly pulled into IEP meetings. We're made to fill in for other teachers when we can't fill a substitute position. We're working crazy hours, catching up on grading assignments, planning assignments, updating records, doing all of these things outside of the actual teaching, that by the end of the school day, we are just now catching up to being tired. I can tell you as an educator who actually likes what she does, I just can't see myself in this for 20 to 30 years. There's no way that I'm going to retire from teaching. And if I had to guess, I would imagine that maybe you feel the same way too. And while we're still in the place where we like our jobs, we enjoy what we do, or if it's come to a point where we can just mildly tolerate our jobs, then now is the time that we need to start thinking about how we're going to leave our jobs and the legacy that we're going to leave behind. That's not meant to be a scary thing. That opens up a whole new array of possibilities for teachers, because so many of us, you have so many other talents that are worth exploring, that are worth investing in. What I'm saying is to start investing into opening up other streams of income for yourself. Over the summer and into the earlier part of this school year, I had the opportunity to visit some festivals, go to local farmers markets, and I was really amazed at how many of those vendors had been former teachers that left their classrooms to pursue their entrepreneurial spirit and to open their businesses. And some of them who were still teachers were just doing their side hustle because they love it. And it also generates some helpful income. So this year, maybe it's time that you finish up that real estate license. Maybe you should offer some tutoring on the side. Do private coaching if you enjoy sports or the arts. Or be like me, be a content creator. Point that I'm making is that we have so many other marketable skills, so many other things that we can bring to a hungry market that's willing to purchase our goods and services, that it would be foolish to dedicate our time to a classroom and to one salary. So you want some unpopular teaching advice, the best kind that I can offer you? If you love teaching, think about how you want to leave teaching. Plan your exit strategy from teaching. And make this the year that you sharpen your other marketable skills and then get out there into that market and start selling them for a profit. When we do this, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that you'll find that enhancing your life outside of the classroom doesn't make you a worse teacher. From the contrary, it makes you a better teacher. Because what you'll find is that your financial stability and your income is not tied to one salary. Teaching from a place of freedom is the best kind of teaching you can offer your students. Being a teacher who isn't tied to his salary and benefits package from his school district is the best kind of teacher there is. I hope that you would take this some time this year, especially in the summer, to nurture your other skill sets. And then come on back here and leave a comment to tell us what skill sets you're working on and what kind of side hustles you have already. You would be surprised how inspirational that can be to a lot of teachers in this time, this school year, who feel really stuck. So let's work together to get some inspo, to get some creative collaboration going, and drop us some ideas about other viable income streams that teachers can begin in 2025. I really am excited for this conversation, and I hope you participate. That's all I have for now. Until next week, do all you can to stay fit to teach, including financially fit to teach. Be well.